Welcome to Under the Ancient Oaks, a monthly video series about paganism, polytheism, and living a good life during difficult times. I'm John Beckett, druid, priest, and writer.
Both science and modern pagan religion tell us that we were not placed on the earth. Rather, we grew out of the earth. And so every living thing on this planet is our kin. When the Christian St. Francis called the wolf his brother, he had no way of knowing just how right he was. But despite the limitations of the science of his time and the doctrines of his church, he intuitively recognized that kinship. We share common ancestors with every living thing on the planet. And we have relationships with the squirrels and the birds, with the trees and the flowers, with the rivers and the mountains. And we share this planet with the spirits of the land, the sky, and the sea. Well, now I am happy to introduce Cynthia Talbot, our first guest on Under the Ancient Oaks. Cyn, tell us who you are.
I'm Cynthia Talbot. I'm a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. I've been a practicing pagan and a witch for 30 years, and an anthropologist and a professional instructor for 25.
Cyn, you and I have traveled a fair amount, and the first thing that always strikes me when we arrive in some new place is just how different it feels. And sometimes that's because of differences in geography or climate, and sometimes it's because of the different cultures of the people who live there. But sometimes the spirits of the place feel different, many times in fact. And sometimes they seem to be saying, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
The spirits of the place are always different because each place is different. When we talk about land spirits, we're not talking about spirits of earth as in the soil that we walk on. We're talking about spirits of place. The spirits that inhabit the Burren in Ireland are certainly completely different from the spirits that inhabit the desert outside Aswan. They are different because the very land that they inhabit is different. They're different because they have been formed from different forces than those in Texas or Atlanta or anywhere else.
If you put your phone down, or in my case, if you put the camera down, and pay attention, it's not that hard to recognize the spirits of someplace different. But it can be a lot harder to recognize the spirits of the places where we live and work day in and day out.
When we travel someplace new, we're open to that experience. We sort of expect to feel something different where we are. When we're at home, when we're at work, it's familiar. So perhaps we don't hear it as frequently. A good way to get over that is simply to go outside wherever you are and make yourself known to the spirits of the place. Make an offering to the spirits of the place. It can be as simple as pouring them a drink of water. Think of it like an old-fashioned hostess gift. When you would go to visit someone, you would bring a bottle of wine, or flowers, or sweets. We are all itinerant guests of the spirits of the places we live. They are much older than us, and they'll be here long after we're gone. Go out, introduce yourself, and then listen for their response. Get to know them.
As pagans, we understand the need to form and maintain relationships with the gods and with our ancestors. We also need to form and maintain relationships with the spirits of the place where we live.
Land spirits, the spirits of the place, be they the spirits of the tree or the river or the caves or simply the land on which we are, again, have been here long before us. So don't give up. When you go and introduce yourself to the spirits of your land, do it again and again. They have a much longer attention span than we do. It takes them a longer time to respond. But the benefits are incalculable to your magic, to your garden, to your pets, to your sense of place and belonging and being at home. Hail to the spirits of this land, to this place. We thank you for your hospitality. We thank you for the kindness of letting us share this place with you. We offer you this libation in hospitality and in love, in friendship and in thanks. Spirits of the land, spirits of this place, hail and welcome.
This coming Saturday, July 29th, I'll be at Pixie's Intent in Houston from 2 to 6 p.m. for a book signing and a workshop on the dark side of Druidry. Then the next morning at 11 a.m., I'll be speaking at the Unitarian Fellowship of Houston on Worshiping Fearsome Gods. I'll be speaking at the Beyond the Gates retreat in Trout Lake Abbey, Washington, August 24th through 27th. And I'll be the special guest at the Southern New Hampshire Pagan Pride Day in Manchester, New Hampshire on Saturday, September 9th. I'll be speaking and leading the Sunday service at the Denton Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Denton, Texas on August 13th. The service title is Religion and Bad Assumptions. There are two services, one at 9:30 a.m. and another at 11:30 a.m. Building relationships with the land and the spirits of the land is part of my new book, The Path of Paganism. It's available from Llewellyn Worldwide and also from Amazon and from Barnes & Noble. And I discuss these topics and more 3 times a week on my blog, also called Under the Ancient Oaks, which is part of the pagan channel of the multi-faith religious website Patheos.
Well, Cyn, thank you for being here with us on Under the Ancient Oaks.
Always happy to be a guest and to welcome you to my little corner of Mother Earth.
Thank you. The response to the first Under the Ancient Oaks video was overwhelmingly positive, and I thank you for your kind words. I've made some equipment changes this time, and the audio should be a little better from this point forward. I have 2 more videos in process, total of 4 in this initial batch. If they go over well, we'll make it a regular thing. So please let me know what you think. Leave a comment on the blog, on Facebook, here on YouTube. That's it for this month. Now may the blessings of the gods and ancestors be with us now and in the days to come.